Evening all.
You need a website.
Oh,
why not
mute that? Everyone needs a website nowadays. So last week I had a Windows update, actually. Fun and games of that. That was hogging my bandwidth. So I got to check out for that next time that happens from last week. Hopefully it should be greatly smooth and wonderful this evening. And I hope to win a few games occasionally. So welcome to the ITC Banter Blitz. So 9th of June edition. So it's 9 PM in UK time. Rocky Top killed me last week. Let's see, can I do any better? I'll try and play solidly. I'm going to take it easy in the first game, maybe with a London system. So this is quite a solid setup basically. It's a bit like a French defence with the bishop outside the pawn chain, you could say. Now one way which is quite good for black is to hit b2 early. I'm hoping he's going to do that, isn't he? Is he going to play queen b6? Not yet. I thought he might be playing queen b6. If I've got e5 under control, I'm hoping to have an e5 under control. There are certain things that can go wrong with this structure, for sure. One thing is later b5, b4, this minority attack thing. But at the moment, I'm quite happy with the position. This is a bit of a loose piece. There might be e5 trying to tap into that loose piece. Takes, and my piece is loose there. So there is some concerns already tactically. Although it seems relatively safe, there's tactics going on, I think, behind the scenes. Can I drop the bishop back, or queen, and then queen e2 after? I'm just wondering this kind of arrangement where, yeah, I think that avoids that tempo gain anyway. Gives me some more options without the tempo gain. Now maybe something like queen e2 and knight e4. Try and weaken black on that diagonal. Is that plausible? Queen e2 and knight e4. There's another way. I could potentially be softening my opponent's position. Okay, he's hitting that. He's tapping into that idea of the bishop. Okay, I'm going to take here. I know the bishop's hanging soon, but what about bishop c4 now? And that f7 looks slightly vulnerable, unless, whoa, hang on. Don't tell me e4 is strong. Queen b5, knight f5, bishop f7. Okay, I can go for maybe queen b3 here, or even knight h4. Queen b3 is interesting. I don't know why that isn't so interesting. If check and then well, we'll see. I don't know, knight a5, bishop f7. Oof. Couldn't I take it from there? I would have something surely. A sort of pin on e8. Get some material. I'm just wondering, okay, so here, if I take on e4, is that too dangerous? There might be knight a5. Okay, I'm in tactical trouble already. Knight e4, knight a5. Might have to give up the pawn already, actually. With knight d4, it's not ideal. It's not really what I had in mind. But I don't know, I'm losing a piece otherwise. Maybe rook d1 after, and I'm on b7. So I'm hoping, or maybe even queen takes b7. Immediately it hits that rook. This might be plausible, I hope. Let's see, it's gone a bit wild. If I play knight b3 now, then maybe queen a7 on queen b2. Although e3 looks a bit of a concern. I might have rook e3 there. So maybe, because the queen is, I know it's hitting the rook, but can I do this? He's got bishop c5. My knight's protecting the rook, so I don't think there's a rook e3 necessarily. In fact, I might want to bring the queen back at some point. Okay, maybe he's going to have that e3. Can I get a tempo? I'll try and get a tempo, or not really. Right, just rook f1 for a moment. He's going to have rook e2 at some point. Oh, it's getting a bit scary. I don't like this rook e2 potential business. What can I do about that? If he has rook e2, can I do rook b1? Intriguing. Rook b1, where does the queen go? Try and chase this queen. My queen's holding a2. Just concerned about rook e2 mainly. Yeah, his position's a bit too coordinated for my liking. Where does the queen go? Queen c2. Well, I'll chase that queen again. I hope I can. That gives me c5 control, because there might be, well, at the moment I'm controlling c5. Right. Now, is it possible to play rook f2? Oh, it's a bit dangerous. Bishop f4 to give my king some air, maybe. I don't know if he's got something like... It's getting a bit scary, this rook e2 business, I've got to say. Rook f2, rook e1, rook takes e1, rook takes e1, king h2, queen d1. That looks nasty. I think I've got to defend f3 from afar. So, I mean g2. It's also hit that bishop. So I'm protecting g2 there. a2's dropping, potentially. Okay, I'm on the bishop though. I think he's dropped the bishop. I can take that. Right, there's a check here. Or there might be knight c5 in this position. I don't think there's a check with the queen. Knight c5 might be a more tactical solution. Okay, this looks fine now. If I play rook c3, I'm not going into a major. There's knight d5. Well, on knight d5 check. Okay, so I think he's resigned. Game wasn't rated. Okay, thanks for the game, Rocky Tom. It was a bit of a, yeah, some good counterplay there. Let's go on the 3-minute auto pairing. So if you want to challenge me, otherwise I'll be on the 3-minute auto pairing. Bishop mate. Okay, a challenge from bishop mate. Try this knight c6. Okay, now I'm going to play this plan, bishop g4 plan, to put the bishop outside the pawn chain, and to sort of get a knight c6 French with the bishop outside the pawn chain. That's one way of describing it. It's definitely a knight c6 kind of French structure here, but the bishop's outside the pawn chain. Try and control e5, even though he has got quite a grip on e5 here. I'm wondering if I can wriggle the bishop. Okay, that might cause some dark square weaknesses if he plays g4. I think there's some dark square weaknesses there for me to play with later. Pawns don't go backwards. Maybe something like, in fact, knight e4 is ruled out here, isn't it? Because I think he'd take on g6, then take on e4. What if bishop e4? Maybe there's f3. What if e5? Maybe that's the best of the bunch. Because knight c6 does support e5. He has... And this is gaining a tempo to win a piece. I could try taking with the f pawn, but then I think that's a bit anti-positional. He might be playing g5 to win d5 as it is. Let's see. Okay, maybe a knight sack could be in order here, or keep it calm with just knight takes actually, or rook e8, even let him take, could improve my position slightly. Yeah, I think I'll just do this to get the rook ready activated. There's a slight concern with d5 here, maybe, but he's kind of compromised his king safety a little bit, I think, already. So if he carries on with g5 just to win d5, well, first of all, I'm not sure it is winning a d5, but second of all, knight h5 to f4. So I think ideally that's okay for this e-file pressure. Let's see. Maybe I want to play c6 at some point. Or take the... I think I can take the file here. Or even queen d6. Take the file. There's rook d8 on bishop d5. And that implies c6 after. So the rook's kind of hemmed in there though. So maybe queen d6 is more flexible. Because I'm wondering if e3 and f4, if my queen's on e7, that rook would be slightly trapped. Potentially. So I'm wondering, I just want to sort of, I'm running into c4, but maybe c5 and then d4 in that case, although b7 might be hanging at some point. But if I have that structure, it looks kind of aggressive. There's also, I can take on e2, cd here, c5, keeps the bishop hemmed in. I've got pressure on f2, I'm probably building that later with queen f4. So I think I'll try this. I'm going to try c5 here in this position, cd, c5, and try and control that file and come in later somehow on f2 if possible. This kind of hems in the bishop. There is also a 3-2 pawn majority here. But yeah, if I have the rooks doubled and queen f4, I think this should be okay. The rooks are holding each other. Queen f4 coming in. Let's see. Oh, mind you, there's always d6. Can I get a knight into f4? I think I'll start with g5. Knight here, here, here. Knight into f4. That's a clear weakness on the dark squares. Let's bring the rook back. I just want to play this plan to get a knight to f4, maintaining the blockade. I know the queen is not the ideal blockader, but nevertheless, what else is this knight doing? Be great on f4. Knife f4, as Ben Feingold says. It's so aggressive to have a knife on f4. So let's see. Is b4 threatened? Might be. Maybe I can think about b6 or taking. I want to get this knight to f4. Okay, let's play b6. So knight g6 to f4 with tempo. Having an interesting question on Quora earlier today about, is that half tempo? So apparently, it's weird I mentioned half tempo. I actually messaged him about it, and he said people shouldn't take him that seriously. Something to that effect. A tempo is basically a single ply. A single ply on computer chess friends, define as a specific like half move.
Check.
There's nothing smaller than a half move in chess. So actually, I think the term gaining a tempo is pretty well defined, and it cannot be broken up, as far as I'm aware, into half tempos. So that's interesting. Anyway, so let's see. If I play Rook E7, I'll be threatening Knight D3 check. Okay, I'll play this to threaten all sorts of checks. Yeah, probably the most famous classic immortal game featuring gaining a couple of tempos at least was the Rubinstein Immortal from a symmetrical position. It's quite vivid, the tempo gains, because it goes back into a completely symmetrical position with black having like the move and also an extra move, and using that to crush the opponent really badly. So let's see. So anyway, back to this game. Knight E2 kind of wins the exchange. Should I be asking for more there? Maybe I can ask for more if I think about it. Maybe just Rook E2. He takes. Queen moves somewhere, or Rook D2. Can I force anything that one? Knight takes H3. I think just winning the exchange is probably a mundane practical thing I can do to win the exchange. The other thing I can think about is just Knight D4 actually. Okay, now I'm going to just do this. Although he does maintain that potentially dangerous pawn. So was this that clever? Not sure. Was it clever? All it is an exchange. Let's see. How can I improve the position here? Maybe I can play for F5 or King G7, Rook H8. Okay, on a dark square away from the bishop. Possibly Rook H8 in the future. Okay, F5. Trying to play for F4. What would that give? Potentially F3. Alright, there's Rook E1 check here on Queen F4. So I think that's good news actually. Oh, thanks for the game, Bishop mate. Parallax. So Parallax, let's play E4. I don't want to be totally boring with a London system. I've never won with this gambit before ever. I think I've had a draw. He's ignored it. Okay. I think I've had a draw with this last time I played it. I don't think it offers white too much. The idea was Bishop A3 taking on F8 to disrupt castling. It comes from John Watson, I think, on ICC actually. He did something about it. B4. Mind you, it has given me a nice diagonal for the bishop. Now that he hasn't accepted that gambit, that's a good diagonal for the bishop, surely. Maybe Knight E5 is interesting. I'm not sure about committing to D4. I'm slightly weak on some light squares here. Okay, it's a difficult position to play with white. Okay, I will do this. I will do this. Maybe Knight A4 to C5. And if he ever takes, then open up the bishop along the diagonal. Mind you, be threatening now to take, and then win H2. So I want to play Knight C5. Probably I want to play Knight C5. If he ever plays B6, I have to figure out maybe Knight D3 to E5. Okay, maybe this is something to do anyway. Torture the E5 square. Maybe Knight F E5 to hit the bishop. Collect another piece, putting pressure on E5. So Knight E5. Knight F take. Knight F E5. Bishop takes. Queen takes. With a grip on the E5. Anytime he plays C5 there, Okay, let's see. I've got my f pawn ready here. There's another thing about this. Maybe there's the f pawn to worry my opponents with. Although I'm concerned I've got a very weakened position. All of these pawns. Can I justify all of these pawns being committed? The c5 is a concern. Okay, is he going to exchange off here? c5 by black is a concern, I gotta say. Actually, I'm potentially eyeing c6 here with maybe not queen takes, because bishop takes. Knight takes, though. Then I am on his queen. Maybe that is a threat. I thought maybe knight takes was safer if I'm thinking of taking on c6. But maybe bishop takes. Okay, I can open up the f file tactically. c4, kick this knight. Now I can swing a knight into h5 here, which looks potentially interesting. Now queen g3. Might be running into c5. I want to be able to play d5 to c5. So let's have a look at this position where I'm sort of eyeing g7 as well. Can I get ready for knight takes g7 for h5? I'm not sure that's really doing too much, but it's fracturing the two pawns at the very least, right? Okay, now if I take like this and do d5 here, I want to be able to play e6 and open up this bishop. Okay, he's on that bishop. Can I play bishop here? Right, if I take that now, maybe it's stronger to play queen g5 as h6. Maybe I should take it. I'm healing his pawns a bit. Maybe d6 is worth a punt. It's a nice protected passed pawn. Okay, can I just double here? Possibly treble. Okay. If he wins c4. Okay. Can I treble as mentioned? Try and cause some disruption. Rook f8. I'm wondering rook g6, queen f6. Bishop d2 allows the check. Okay. Maybe I need a rook on e4. So that rook g6, queen f6, rook h4 after. That would be good news. It's not letting me do that. I think it'll be too dangerous for him to allow knight f6 here. Okay, I can plonk the bishop on e5 to hold that for a moment. But my plan to get a queen to h6 looks evident. There's a quick way of doing that. Okay, hit this queen away from my rook. Okay, now holding d6 a bit firmer, and rook h4 is supported, and also e5. So do this, just play king h2. And then maybe things I'm hoping are interesting. or not. Has he got this blockaded? Rook g5?
Check.
Oh, that's pretty annoying, if that really is the case. Alright, I'll have the queens off then. No, I can't have the queens off. Right here. Playing for a win or a loss. Bishop h6 to g7. But he's going to pin, isn't he? Ah, he's pinning. He's not letting me do anything. Oh no. Don't tell me I've just gone into that. What a muppet.
Draw?
Is it off for the draw out of sympathy? Okay, I'll take it. Yeah. Alright, thanks. I thought I had something. Okay. Thanks for the whatever draw, pity draw. Silent under, moving swiftly along. I thought I was having a really good position there. Oh, okay. Oh, how that was ruined. That was nice. And I didn't even get a chance for my bishop g7 because he pinned. That was an interesting plan. It looked so good earlier, that position. I don't know. I'll try this hack attack here. h4. Yeah, let's see what's happening here. Is he sporting d5? Or maybe he doesn't need to. Okay, this is a bit strange in that I need to get this rook back in the game. Maybe queen d7, bishop h3. Actually, there might be bishop h3 and rook h4 and queen g4. I think I'm threatening rook h4, queen g4. Alright, I'll take that then. Maybe g5 and queen h3. If that gives me, what does that give me? After king g1, knight g6 for g4 after that. So queen h3, knight g6 and g4 is the crude plan here, I think.
Check.
I think I can take and then knight g6 to f4. This knight f4 looks pretty strong. Although f3 might be able to defend. G3 threatens mate, takes knight f4 after. Oh, like that. Okay. If I win a couple of pawns, I think it'll be worth it here. So f4 and knight f3 and knight f4. Okay, this can stay there for a moment to go over here. Let's get out of the checks. To this guy. Alright, now maybe rook e7 to rook b7. Just take it easy here. f3 and just even take the queens off and knight e5. I think I've got enough. Have I? Oh, there's queen e1 and knight f3. Okay. So takes, check, queen. That looks dangerous. Knight f3, straight off the bat, looks dangerous. King here, queen e1, king there, queen e1. Yeah, I think I just take and then knight f3. Okay, here knight f3 ties down to e1. So takes and queen e1. I might have g3 here. What about f5? f5, if he takes rook e1, f5 might do the trick. Holds g4. So if it takes rook e1, I think I can a mistake would be taking because of queen g8. Maybe taking here is enough here. Doesn't look very convincing, actually. Okay, what about this and f3? g3? I'll take that.
Check.
And play this check. Should be safe enough with the check. Or not. There's g2, maybe g2 is better. Because I don't want all these like potential checks and stuff. Just to be on the cautious side, probably g2. There's queen f4. Alright, just to rule out the checks, what about this one? Okay, it was getting a bit potentially tricky. Thanks, Sun Hunter. J. Russell 2. Okay, is J. Russell 2 ready? Let's have a look. D4. Okay, so knight c3. This is what Shirov played against Hebden, and Shirov won the Lloyd's Bet Masters in the 90s. So it's an interesting centre game. I find it fairly interesting. Anyway, this kind of position, it's, you know, a change from other stuff. Okay, so castle queenside, knight d5. Maybe f4, knight f3, bishop d3, that sort of thing. I guess I like the opposite side casting games, which this affords. Oh, looking at g7 here. And I can play bishop c4 free, it might be worth. As long as it's not
Check.
target later. Pushing that king to h8, so I guess knight f3, g5 is dangerous. Yeah, with the king on h8. Let's put the bishop. Maybe let's keep the bishop on diagonal. So I'll play knight f3 to g5. Knight f3 to g5. Trying to open up this rook. Fret thing. Okay. Probably I want to move this. Yeah. And then bishop e3. Actually, the queen's holding a3 as well here. Maybe I can borrow the queen for a moment. I just had a thought. Queen b3, queen g8, but then knight takes, not rook takes. For knight f7, knight takes. It's an interesting thought for a moment. Queen b3, queen g8. If that rook moves, that would be on the cards. So take with the queen here. So if this rook ever moves, but I am threatening knight e6, right? Now if rook e8, knight f7 anyway. So where does rook move? Rook g8, knight f7. Where is how? Okay, bishop c8. Bishop c8. Knight f7 wins the exchange. Right, this looks as though I'm winning the exchange. Or he's going to open the ref of the rook. In which case, rook takes and queen takes is on the cards. If king g6, there's queen. Well, there's all sorts of things. I think I just take here. Queen h3. King g7, queen h6 is mate.
Check. Check.
And then queen is the top scorer in chess. Thanks for the game, J. Russell. And NM. Kobayashi. I'll try my knight c6 system. Let's play d3. I sometimes get a good position with this d3. Now something like h6. and f5 later. Would he... Is it too dangerous for me to do that? Is he going to sack? Might be. Find out. Maybe I shouldn't have attempted this. F6. I kick immediately. I'm hoping this is on sound. If ever he has Queen H5 and E5, I'm wondering if I take this, I have Bishop F5 to protect my H7 soft spot. Yeah, I'm not entirely convinced. Stuff like this is dangerous in blitz. Do I afford that? Discovered check. I think if I lose a rook, does it matter? What about just King H8? Is that too simple? Pin that guy with Bishop E6 on knight F3. Oh, I don't mind losing an exchange.
Check.
Right. So there's knight E5, blockade for a moment, Queen H5, King G8. It stops Bishop C4. I think I'll try with this.
Check.
Gaining a tempo. Bishop E6, F4, getting another tempo with Bishop F7. That again stops Bishop B3 as well. But yeah, you can try like this for a moment. And there's Bishop C4 here. Or just Knight C4. I don't want to be too greedy. I'm having pieces hanging soon. So Knight C4. Just to blunt this diagonal. I've got enough material. I just need to blunt the attacking diagonal, surely. So C6, Queen B6. Get a counter attack. Maybe just Bishop D5 here. Knight D5. 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 Just to make sure this is slightly concerned actually. E6, Queen G4, Bishop F5. Alright, I don't want to be too greedy about it, but on the other hand, there's a pawn. It's a pawn. What is he giving me this pawn for? I want these things installed. Attacking installations. It's gone crazy. Has he? Alright, I'll play for F5 if needed to blunt this diagonal. I'll swoop in with the queen to E3. Okay, let's play this check and then rook E8. I'm getting on the defensive here. F5, Bishop D4 after. Why am I on the defensive? Knight f7, queen h5, there's knight d6. Alright. Try this. The rook's pinned for the moment, so what about knight e5? That's more central. If he takes, okay, so knight e5 hits the bishop as well, thankfully. Thankfully the rook's pinned, so this is another tempo. Right, so if he has to lose a tempo, then queen c7 or not. That's unfortunate. Do I really have to give back material? I can give back a knight with knight d6 and then c5. Okay. Not c5. Like king f7. Try and get this pawn. I have to give back a knight. This is much more vicious than I imagined. I get to play queen c7 to hold my pieces before he plays rook g7, winning everything. Threatening now rook e1, mating. If he moves his queen, rook e1. And I think I'm a bit home and dry now. Famous last words. Rook g6, bishop g5. Sort of traps the rook. Thanks very much. So d4, I'm queening the pawn, right? I know chess isn't usually that simple, but I've gone through the wars here to get to this position. I didn't think there was anything. Okay, thanks. Mozef, provisional. I had some fortunate defensive resources available. Otherwise, things could have got nasty. I think being able to give back material is a nice luxury if you're on the defensive side. Sometimes a luxury you need to make use of to give back material to fend off the threats. Can I do this with tempo? And again with tempo. Although I'm weakening e5, can I seal up the hole with bishop d3? And bishop, well, I don't have to worry about e5 just yet. Maybe bishop c4. Oh, okay. I want a castle, maybe. Well, I did want a castle. There's kings in the centre, so I think I'll just take that off. Now I'm on c7 here. If he takes, I've always got rook e1. His king's in the centre. So let's see. Now if the knight moves, bishop b7 wins the queen. In fact, bishop a5 might be possible. Threats then mate. So if he takes, I can lose 3 pieces for the queen, which might not be worth it at all. Something to bear in mind. What about much more simple on the same theme? Is bishop takes, just winning a piece actually, because I'm on the queen. So that's my threat. Bishop takes. He moves the queen. I want a bishop f4. When does he move the queen to? If he moves the queen to c5, I can gain a tempo. Maybe that's useful here. I don't know. My a pawn is loose. He can attack my a pawn. Can do this. I can hit the queen again without losing the rook, ideally. If I double here, this looks like a good idea to double the rooks. Or hit the queen again. Queen's surely not got that many squares, right? Oh, the bishop's hanging. That'd be a good check. That wouldn't be very funny. I can set this trap here for... No, that's not a trap. Just losing a bishop. Okay. So what do? What do I do about this bishop? Bishop c1. Bishop d2 is with another tempo. It protects the bishop. On e4. Alright. Got to think more carefully about this. These two pieces are not even in the game yet, and I'm not able to seemingly do much at the moment. What about just... Okay, just bishop c3 and double the rooks. Let's see. Okay. a3, there's bishop a3. Takes a3. Oh, there might have been bishop f6 in that position, I just realised. Oh well. Let's come out here. Oh, there's a nasty pin here. Right. What do I do about this pin business? Oh, he's delayed it anyway. Maybe for bishop h5. There's knight d2 to c4. There's an idea. Okay, I'll go with this one. Okay, so there's knight c4 taking d6. Which might... Oh no, it's on a2 after. Okay, I can threaten to win the queen. This is all pretty awkward stuff all the time. This game. Bishop takes, knight takes, winning the queen. I don't know, I thought I would have had some simpler play than this. But anyway, here goes. That queen has been a pest in this game. Okay, finally I'm going to win that queen, surely. I'm going to win this queen. I was rook d5, queen e6. Except I'll get back mated after.
Check.
So I've got to be careful about getting back mated. Unless it's with check. It's with check.
Check.
I probably have to take the rook off now because I'll get back mated. So this leaves me in an ending which might be better for me. Okay, thanks. Smetanov. Okay. So there's Smetanov 1, 2, 3. So Smetanov was part of another core question recently about the free players which came out of nowhere and were really good. I mentioned Mir Sultan Khan, Smetanov, and someone else. Who was that other one? Okay, let's see. Knight takes knight e5 maybe. Knight takes knight e5. Actually, if he takes here, I just take the knight. What am I talking about? He's blocked the d-file. I can just take the knight. Come on, wake up. Okay. Let's push this guy back. He's got bishop d5. Bishop g4, it's probably better. He's not really going to play g4, is he? Harry Nelson Pillsbury might have been the other one I mentioned. Came out though, it went Hastings. Unfortunately, died a bit young. Yeah, Pillsbury might have been. Okay, so let's see, knight e5 with tempo, or bishop takes. Either he's got bishop e2 anyway, unless I've got knight e4. What about just trying to get this e pawn with rook e8? Is that too dangerous? Give this a shot. So knight d4, knight takes, bishop takes, knight e4. Somehow my my f7 is protected at the moment. This might be plausible. f7 seems secure enough at the moment. Let's take that, cheekily take the e pawn here. Okay, let's see. Okay, alright, I'll take that. Then knight takes e4. Unless he's got bishop f7, bishop takes. Has he got queen d5? Queen d5. Maybe there's bishop g6 there. I'm hoping there's bishop g6. I can play bishop f2 first. Am I leaving too many pieces hanging? Queen d5, bishop f2, king f1, bishop g6. What if rook e4? Rook e4, king takes f2. Let's have a look at this again. Queen d5. Now let's imagine bishop takes f2, and let's imagine king f1. He's not threatening anything there, is he? Okay, anyway, I can play bishop f2 here.
Check.
Maybe knight takes f2 was interesting as well. I think I want to play d5 to blunt this bishop if he plays queen takes. That's d5. And then think about, say, queen d6, knight g3 check to win the queen. Now, okay. Right, so what's happening here? Knight g3 seems to be the main threat. Okay, how does he deal with that? Say queen h4, okay. Rook d1, I think I can just take here, because it takes check and win the queen. Queen c3 can threaten mate. Cheekily I'll play f6. Maybe f6 here. Just blunting that in advance of any naughty business. If knight takes queen d5. Oh, thanks for the game. Benny wins. Benny wins. Let's try this again.
Check.
Disruptive. Or is it? I'll play bishop d2 anyway. That's what I want to do anyway. Takes. Rook e4. There's bishop f6. Maybe. I think knight f3 here. I'm thinking of that as knight. Could be vulnerable. Black's king. Could be. Yeah, I just want to double. There's queen f4. Yeah, I think queen f4. Because if he takes queen f7, queen g7. And this is anything stronger. When you see a good move, look for a better one. But that's a pretty decent one, I think. The knight, yeah, look at these bishops. Soft spot, loose piece. Okay.
Check.
Yeah, knight g3 might not have been the best idea. I think Benny loses on this occasion. Okay, thanks. Chess freak. So I like this tango because it's provoking weaknesses on the dark squares and can lead to a violent position on the king side later with knight g4. And in my study of the classic master games, the fishing pole is a really dangerous weapon. It's reassured me that it's not just a little gimmick, it's a really dangerous weapon. The fishing pole, so good to try and use it. I don't know if I can use it here necessarily. Queen g5. Well, I'm hoping to be able to use it here. And let's open up my potentially lethal rook. So knight f4, but not queen h5, the knight takes g7. Probably have to snap this knight off first. Maybe like take knight f4. Just take in and queen h4. And then if rook e1, queen h1. So probably just taking queen h4. I think it might be worth the double pawns to get rid of that dark square bishop to weaken f4. Okay, so I think this should be fun and games here. This position. Actually, why didn't I play Queen h4 as mentioned? Oh well. It's worried about the knight, I suppose. I can at minimum take this knight off over here if this isn't working out, but I think it is. Just knight takes and oh. Check, check. Rook h2 coming in, queen d2. I think like this, and then queen h4 threatening rook h1. So rook f2, rook h2, queen d2. Okay. The point is queen h4 for rook h1. So queen h4 threatens rook h1. That exit's covered on e2. Bishop h3. However, maybe back to winning the knight on a4. If the worst case scenario is winning the knight on a4. It's a bit cheeky. No, I've already sacked a piece. What about taking? What about just queen g3 for a moment? Threatens knight h3. What does he do exactly? Oh. Okay. If I bring reinforcements over here, I've got the exit route covered. So if I just bring reinforcements, even if he plays knight c5, I think I'm going to ignore that. This has got okay. This has got amazing checks here. He's getting mated, isn't he?
Check. Check.
Why would I want to win the knight on a4? I'm already invested a knight. That was some silly thinking going on there. I just want to mate him. Alright, thanks. Chess freak. Wage slave. Win the knight on a4, yeah. Okay, I'm already a knight down. Okay, just to clarify. Okay. Oh, I should have maybe got that bishop off. This is a 3-minute game then, yeah? It's got some points on the dark squares to make a grip against b5, h4, h5, h6. Try and dice these pawns. I'm not sure what that's about. I want to try and dice these pawns. Can I just get e5? There's b7 if I want to sort of win a pawn, or maybe even knight a5. Now if knight e5, queen g2, maybe. I'm threatening knight c6 after. Maybe h3 and f4, and then knight c6 after. It's plausible. He's got a check, so what? Okay, exchange sack. I don't like the knight on e5. H5, H6. Just to try and dice the pawns as previously mentioned. Oh, he's got knight f5. Am I allowing too much counterplay? Because he's got knight f5. What about g4? Is that too radical? Weakening my squares. There's g5, trying to drive him back. F5, F6, too weakening. Knight e4, bishop c3. Or rook e1. Or b3 if I don't want to lose b2 in a hurry. Let's just try and not lose all my pawns necessarily. Right. Okay, he's got some nasty dark square plans afoot.
Check.
Oh, here, because otherwise rook e4 and knight g3. I can handle rook e4, I think, in this position. I wanted to play bishop c3. He's got king g6. He doesn't have to go to g8. It's not. So queen e2. Bishop c1. Or king g3 here. Yeah, okay.
Check.
Knight f6. Let's check to hold.
Check.
f4. Anything good here I can do? It's a bit passive, but let's hold f4. Try and get on this diagonal.
Check. Check.
Right, I think I might be okay here. Let's have a quick look. Knight f6.
Check.
Knight e7.
Check.
I'll just take the bishop. Okay. Right. It was good counterplay for a moment. A bit worried. 3-minute auto pairing. Knight f6 and bishop g4. Can I play knight f6 and bishop g4? Alright. Be ready with... Maybe this is better. Bishop f5, bishop h6, bishop d3. F5 here. Hoping to get a bit of counterplay. Blocking my poor bishop. Maybe f4, f3. Without losing my queen. Okay, is this g file any good? Rook f7 is g7. Let's not burn all the bridges just immediately. Losing that bishop immediately. That making work to win the bishop a little bit on the queen side. But I think I want to play something like Rook f7 to g7. And then King h8, Rook g8, double the rooks. I'm not sure why he's not playing Queen f3 immediately. Well, f4 looks dangerous. Since I give up that e4 square, that's quite a sacrifice of a major square. He's got g2 covered. So what hasn't he got covered? Queen h2 for rook g2. He's killed my bishop over here. That's not very nice. Is rook g2? He's got that covered from afar. Maybe this is the time for f4. He's protecting g2 from afar. I'll just trap my queen. I have to do it now. My queen's trapped. I've got c8 covered, right? So I've got bishop g4 coming in. Revenge from last week. It's QVC. Doesn't say. Right, so an FM now. It's pretty tough on the auto pairing. Let's play this bishop g4 plan. Can I do this or not? Just go back for a moment. Let's think about Tony Miles for a moment. Reverse gear moves, just to just to get a flexible setup. I don't want to have to commit losing the light square bishop. Okay, I'm just looking at the opponent's position and I'll optimize based on their moves. Okay, if tempo is not entirely crucial, I don't get completely destroyed. This might be a good idea. So knight b6. Why can I take on d5 here? He's daring me. I know this is not pleasant generally. Right. There's knight f4. Knight takes, check. Maybe I'm worse. Maybe I'm losing immediately. It's possible. Unfortunately.
Check. Check. Check.
Protecting e6. Do I get a chance ever for b6 or bishop b7? Is that too many moves to aim for? What about b5 with tempo? How many pawns down? I'm equal on pawns at the moment. Do I need to lose a pawn? Can I just play b6? He's got bishop a6. There's bishop b7 there. Isn't there?
Check.
Well, he's only got 30 seconds, but it's a lot of pawns on.
Check.
Whoa.
Check.
Can you try and swindle this on time to a draw? Is that 20 seconds? Is he that quick, this guy? I think my king come across a little bit. How many pawns does he want? I mean, seriously, he's got 6 million pawns. That's so annoying. Just take all my pawns, why don't you?
Check.
Every last one. Okay. That's mean.
Check.
That's mean, man.
Check. 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 Check.
I just needed to last 1 second. I just needed to last 1 second for a draw. Ah, that was took all my pawns and then did it within a second. Mean. So this reverse French defense. Knight b5 to d4 looks okay. Maybe f4 round about here. Okay, I'm wondering knight f1 on knight g4. Bishop d3 and double the rooks is another idea. This knight g4 looks a bit of a menace. Is it better to play knight f1 maybe for a moment? E3 is dropping, I think. Unfortunately, E3 is dropping. I might get a doubling of rooks though, on the bright side. Looking at f7. This could be handy, I would imagine. Bishop d3 taking g6 could be handy. Okay, rook f7 here, queen g6. Bishop d3. He's got queen h4. What about knight e6? Trying to play bishop e5. So his queen h4 answer with bishop e5. I assume he's taking there. Right, I'll take this off till we're getting mated. There's rook g7, king h8. Almost handy. And in fact, can I just take on d7? He's not immediately mating me with anything, is he? Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay. That's 2 AMs that have gone down this evening. Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Entertained? 1 entertained. 10 bored. Are you not entertained? What more do you want? Okay, QBC again. The rematch. He's playing silly openings. He must be annoyed. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to go through the centre now. Is this some sort of weird gambit? I assume, or is just dark square play generally is pretty good. Yeah. What do I do about it? Am I getting killed here? Doesn't look entirely fantastic outcome of the opening, as he's got that horrible passed pawn. Give me the bishop. Let me have that bishop. Maybe e5. There's bishop f5 or something that we can take here. Well, his king's still in the centre. Is he never going to take this? Why is he not castling? Okay. Queen c2 possible? Why don't I just take on a2? I could just take on a2. What am I thinking? No, my queen's just on c2 now. I got to take this guy off, otherwise I'm going to suffer here if I don't take this a2 pawn off. Big thing here. Well, I'm not getting mated surely if I allow the check. He hasn't got e5 just yet. This has got knight g3 or something evil. Well, there's c5 check here. Bishop e6. Isn't that knight? What's wrong with knight f6?
Check.
What the heck? Maybe I should just take the bishop. Might be 8. That loses that. If I take this, then I've got queen a1 for queen. Is my knight stranded? Queen a7. Hang on, let's just try and find a sensible move here. What about c5 check? Isn't that a sensible move?
Check.
Look for a stronger move. Look for a stronger move. I know there's only 40 seconds. Look for a stronger move. Right, then knight e5 gets the knight out of trouble. What's that guy that says look for a stronger move? I guess he didn't have in mind these 3-minute games though.
Check.
Winning the queen. Yes! Iron fist tonight. Iron fist. I know, I was getting crushed. He bamboozled me. Yeah, I was getting crushed. Okay. What was that? One entity? 10 board? Okay, a CM. Okay. Okay. Let's put this bishop back. Play it like Petrosian. Now Petrosian in the French defence, he tried to get rid of the light square bishops sneakily. Sometimes he did a queen's bishop fianchetto and castled queenside. If I need to use bishop f8 against this, like h5 I will. Try and castle queenside and then later something like g5. In the meantime, any c4 or something like that, try and grab the light squares. So I'm going to try and play it a la Petrosian if possible. Knight h5, bishop f8. And bishop f8 anyway, just to hold f7. Time isn't so much of the essence in these sort of positions. It'd be nice to basically, yeah, play it like Petrosian if possible. Try and exchange off the light square bishop, or liberate it somehow along the diagonal. Maybe g5 here just to open up some files. Weakens too much. Okay, he's got me in a bit of a bind. Can I try and just exchange off as mentioned? Okay, hang on a sec. c5? Okay, I don't want my queen, his queen there. Okay. Is he going to give me some dark squares with f5? Okay, it gives me some dark squares, but maybe c5 here. The c5 plan might not be so bad. So queen c6, is that anything just to keep the queens on for a moment? If my queen's not getting trapped, that is. No, these pieces look awkward at the moment. Let's hold on to the pawn for a moment. What do I want to do, ideally? Knight c4, takes, I'm on g2. Maybe knight c4 is interesting, where it was. Right, he doesn't want to draw, does he? Okay, can I evict this queen with rook d7? No, not yet. Alright, I think I need to maneuver a little bit here. Right. So I'm on e2. Is this going to take all my pawns? There's a check here.
Check.
I think somehow breaking a structure a bit. And blundering a piece. Okay. Bishop b7. He's always got bishop e4. I've really played this well. Oh, what a muppet. What a muppet. Will he fall for anything? Not really. He's just taking on e8.
Time warning.
Oh, it's been torn to shreds. Oh, I've been torn to shreds. Oh, I believe it. Okay. Yeah. I didn't get the positional manoeuvring I really was hoping for. He just invaded my queenside. That's the way it goes. That's the way it goes. That's the way the cookie crumbles, as Nick Foster used to say. He was a very talented player in the 90s. Rook d1, bishop b1. I don't think the bishop's hanging just yet. I don't think bishop b1 threatened crude bishop f6. Right. And maybe go back for a sack here or something. Or maybe takes in d5. Taking in d5 looks mildly interesting. If I took here, he takes. Take here, he takes that. That's annoying. I'll do it anyway. Can I win b7 or something? Nope. I just lost all my pawns. I'm just losing all my pawns. Okay. This doesn't look good. Whatever I had earlier, gone. Okay, I'm on a3 here. Can I provide any resistance with h5? Just a bit of resistance from 2 pawns down. Why doesn't he just move the bishop? Is there a problem moving the bishop? Oh, it's rook d1. Hold on. Am I threatening rook d1? I think unfortunately it takes an a2. Takes? Check. a2. And then I'm doomed. So why don't I just take this for a moment? Oh, that was not fair. That was not fair. That's not on. Okay. Did he really calculate rook d1 there? Keep an eye on d8. I'm just trying to provide some resistance if possible. He's got rook and queen g5. I think he had rook takes. And, okay, queen g5. 28 seconds. Can I move any quicker than this? Without getting mated. Ah! Ah! No, that was not the move
Check.
to do.
Check. Time warp. Check. Check. Checkmate.
Oh no! I thought I had such a promising position earlier. Before that, horrible. I mean, I knew my bishop was loose, but knight d4, that was something. Ah, the 2200 is pretty tough here on the 3 minute. Didn't see that stuff. Knight d4 in that game. Okay, anyway. Knight g5 looks fun, I think. Maybe with e6 now. My back row's too weak for anything significant though. At the moment, it's not. So there's queen h3, h5, e6, maybe. It's on my f2 though. My f2 is a bit weak here. I might have to flick in bishop e3 at some point. And then I lose g5. Oh, this is... maybe this isn't too clever. If I just played knight f3 here to shield f2. So takes. His structure is a bit compromised. I need to connect the rooks. Maybe bishop g5. And then e7 wins a piece, doesn't it? With rook hemmed in, isn't e7 winning a piece? Yeah, cool. Pull one back a bit. GM 2531. So why is, I wonder why he's 2531. So what GM is this? In fact, the GM is the same name. Quezada. I've never heard of him. Quezada. UNESCO Quezada. Okay. Right. F4 threatens. My first threat of the game. Can it be that bad? H5 and G4. I'm being slightly optimistic here. I have a feeling I might be slightly optimistic. I mean, too much. So, can I kick the knight with c6? I want to play like queen g5. In fact, knight b4, isn't that a5? Oh no. knight takes. Crikey. Yeah, I thought I was being a bit overly optimistic. That's wrecked everything. And this knight takes. Check, king e7. I'm hitting his rook and the queen. You can play a check on h7. I haven't got too many candidate moves, unfortunately, because king d7 is check, so king e7. Well, let's have a look at this anyway.
Check. Check.
King f8. Then queen g5 after. Well, there's rook f7. Again, there's not too many candidate moves. What about king e8? There might be bishop f7. I'm losing the plot here. One thing's for sure though, rook f7 is to be avoided. Unless there's king f6, rook f7, king g5. But I can imagine e5 and then knight e4 check after. Takes knight e4, king g6. I don't know if that's entirely bad, actually. I think it must be. Anyway, let's have a look at this with queen g5. I thought you'd go for e5 and knight e4. Let's have a look at queen g5 here. Is there like bishop f7 or something? Is he killing me with bishop f7? Everything got really wrecked because I missed one of his. Unfortunately, yeah. Knight h5. Oh, he's got check, and I think it's all over really.
Check.
Yeah, it looks pretty grim. The check, I don't think helps. Does that? I think bishop g4. Alright, you could take that.
Check.
Okay, I think it's time to resign this. I can't. What I can't believe though is, I honestly thought this was a good position here. I don't know if that's an illusion. This position around here, is it too weak
Check.
or not? Sorry, let's go back to this position. Let's just start with h5.
Check.
Yeah, he's threatening knight. I didn't realise. This is +2 for white already. So this position is too weak. I don't know if it's too weakening, the whole thing. No, I have to take with the bishop. I have to take with the bishop. I might be okay here. It's only it's less than half a ball, but it seems as though HG, for some reason, I thought this position here, well, round about here, was safe enough. Bishop g7. It's probably not. Yeah, it's loads of weaknesses really. So maybe the only way is bishop g4. Okay. Some I don't know, some 1 minute games to end up in the last 5 minutes. Play some 1 minute games. See how fast the internet is anyway. It seems pretty bouncy earlier. Well, in this session even. So this is a system I quite like for bullet. that sort of routinely mates some of the time. The bonus of it in bullet chess. Okay.
Checkmate.
Get the same guy. Not too much variety. Okay. Yeah, sometimes I think you can get away with the weaknesses until proven otherwise, but you know, it was quite easy to, in that other game to prove. Alright, so let's see. The 1 minute auto pairing, maybe one or two more. Oh, okay, it's taking the, okay. Let's not worry about it too much. Right.
Check.
Right, is F5 any good? Or D5?
Check.
Bishop C5?
Check.
I better hold this.
Check.
Oh, it's C6 maybe. Bishop C7. Queen B5.
Check. Check. Check.
Alright, my internet connection's okay tonight. Yeah, for bullet. I wonder if I can get higher rated on the bullet auto pairing. There's one or two more just to finish off a bit. I think if you can type the command ping or something to get the ping, averaging at 93 ms latency. If you type ping, you get yeah, I think that's pretty good. Maybe I should announce that before I do the bullet that I'm running at 93 ms latency. Yeah, if you type the command ping. Oh, this guy's really quick. You can see how quick he is. Super sonic hedgehog. Try and pre-move some of the moves. Diagonal. If I get King H1 and Rook G1, this might be good. And then F4. Right, so some sort of attacking build up like this. Maybe play on the queen side with B5. Try and use that past pawn. So B5 and C6 might be handy. Right, play for C6. Unblockade this. No, he was super quick earlier, but he hasn't got that much time now. Oh, let's not lose everything in a hurry.
Check. Time warning.
He's not making it. No, my connection's pretty quick tonight. Let's not get too provoked to create 6 million weaknesses. I know it's a bullet game, but even so. So knight b5 coming up for e5 and then d6. Or even just taking here. This looks quite crushing. Knight e7 is mates if his queen moves.
Checkmate.
Checkmate anyway. This guy's dangerous on the 5-minute auto parrying, I seem to remember. What about knight d5? Okay, if I nab this pawn. Just to annoy him. Knight d5. Okay.
Check.
The trouble is double his pawns. King d2.
Time warning.
Knight d5. Knight 6. d5.
Check.
Oh, why don't I take the bishop? d6.
Check. 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 Checkmate.
Yeah, they're not so quick tonight, are they? Okay, I think it's good to have a fast internet. If you want to play on the bullet auto pairing, you got to check your ping. The command ping is handy for checking your ping. Funny enough. So c6, b5, b4. Knight e5 coming up. Okay, he's got that pin. d5, d4. Can I get rid of this knight? Knight e5 maybe. Okay, so take that. He's undermining for sure. Okay, that's
Time warning.
Unfortunately. Okay, can I not do anything here? Just move anywhere. Come on. Why don't I just take the knight? 10 seconds. Why don't we just take this knight? Take on his queen here.
check,
Queen c5. Knight f4.
check, check,
Oh, 7 seconds out. Okay, I better stop there. No, he got his revenge. Okay, I'll end on that note. I think we're past the schedule now. Got carried away. Is my co-producer still there? Has he gone to bed? Should we finish there? Finish here. I hope you enjoyed this week's session. 1 fun, 10 boring. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I think good to have a no ping. Okay, have a good weekend. See you next week. Thanks so much. Remember to like the video just to boost the ICC video and my one if you can. That would be much appreciated. Thanks so much. Cheers up.